That big event is coming up and you want it to be so special. We do too. So whether it's your daughter's wedding or maybe an anniversary or your husband's milestone birthday, we've got the mental motivation you need to make the big event in your life fun and mostly memorable. We're sharing 5 phrases to help you enjoy an important event, whatever that event may be, and we're turning to an expert for help. Meet my friend Kathy Cappellucci with Temple Square Hospitality. She's joining me as part of this Mind Over Matter series we've been doing all this week. You're the perfect person for this. Can I tell you why? You're on the front lines of huge events, gorgeous weddings that you help plan to the the last detail is covered and you do it so well. And you're watching the guests and the hosts and seeing maybe who's enjoying it a little bit more than the next person. How hard is it though to be present when you are the host or you are the person at the center of that attention in a big event like a wedding?
It can be tricky. People get nervous because they want it to be beautiful, they want it to be successful, they want it to be a great memory. So it's common that people get nervous.
And you are so good, I know. We've talked about this, about coaching the mother of the bride to be present, to enjoy it, to soak it in. And you've kind of channeled that advice into these 5 mantras, which I love so much. One phrase you say makes all the difference is to plan well and early.
It's super important, and I can't stress it enough. You know, when I was 16, my mother used to say, Kathy, if you've got 10 minutes to get ready for a date, it takes you 10 minutes. But if you've got 4 hours, it takes the full 4 hours.
That's so true.
You can fill every second planning a big event if you want.
Right.
But if you plan early and well, we can let it go, walk away from it. Then you've got time because you're done, you're planned it, it's ready to go. But then you can sit with it, and then you've got time for a great idea. Maybe you say, oh, I will do a seating chart, or I want to add, what is it when you give people gifts?
Favors.
You know, I want to add favors.
Yes.
You've got time for that, right?
The details. You give yourself the cushion and the space.
You can relax, sit with it, and then you have time for cool events or to think it through again.
Or fun details. Plan well and plan early. Know your audience is your next mantra. What do you mean by this, Kathy?
Know who's coming. Be informed. What do they have in common? How can I help them feel comfortable? For example, if I say, Brooke's my friend and she's just taken a sushi making class, and Glenn has served in Japan and he's eats sushi. I mean, they've got a little thing. Or maybe I say a favorite thing about you. Maybe my favorite thing about Bob is that he, does this, and then a person can ask a question. So you want to bring people together by bragging about them.
That's a trick, I have to say, of a gracious hostess, I think. Thinking in advance, looking over that guest list, knowing your guests well enough to then make them feel comfortable, as you said, with the other people you've brought into your space, into your home. I love that. Know your audience. Make guests feel at home. How can we do that?
It depends on what your event is, but lots of things. Again, I know you, so I like to make the guests that have come early, the first guests, kind of host with me. I'll give you a drink, I'll show you how to make your homemade limeade or do that. And then when somebody else comes in, I'll say, Julie, Brooke's already made hers. Will you go show her the lay of the land? You know what's going on.
Love that, love that. You're setting them up with a task and also getting them involved early.
And then they have to make somebody else feel comfortable so they forget about themselves, and then they can go get involved.
And the chain continues. Yes, I love that. I love that. Make your guests feel at home. That's mantra number 3. Do we get so caught up in the details that we hardly remember to enjoy the party, to stop and just be part of that event?
I think everybody does that because we feel the pressure. It's on us. And again, we want it to be wonderful. We want it to be perfect. I liken this to, I've wanted my whole life to go on a cruise. I always wanted to go. It was my dream vacation. So I finally went on one. Okay, I've only been on one, but I went on one, and I was, 40. I was an adult. And I stood there on the dock and I just stared at the ship. And my brothers said, Kathy, come on, get on. All the fun's up there.
Yeah.
And I said, I know, but the minute I get on, I'll be getting off. It's over. The second it begins, it's almost over. And I want to enjoy this. I just wanted to look at the ship. And I think with parties, with hostessing, we can be uptight or we can just relax and know it's going to go fast. So breathe, get through it by enjoying each moment.
Is this the advice you're sharing to mother-in-laws? A lot of times you're kind of in their ear helping them smooth things over with the most, the best of intentions?
Sometimes people ask me, do you have a lot of bridezillas? I've never seen one. I don't know any. But I've seen some momzillas because they get a little nervous.
Yes.
So yeah, we want to help them.
When we work out, Kathy, we take 10 minutes at the end of a workout to cool down. And you say that phrase, cool it down, applies to hostessing as well.
Oh, I think so. So you've done all this work. You've planned, you've created this amazing event. to celebrate some wonderful thing. And then everybody walks out the door. Instead of just going to bed or starting to clean up because it's got to get done, I love just sit down, have a drink yourself, think about who just walked out the door and kind of be warm in the wake of what just walked out the door. Think about, or if you have a partner, then talk about what were the highlights of the evening. What was particularly wonderful, who said what, and just enjoy it. I like celebrating in that. I think of that wake physically as they walk out the door.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
Marinate in it a little bit, right?
Yes, marinate in it.
You put
I'm
all this
stealing that.
work into it. That can be mantra number 6, as long as you put my name on it. As long as you put my name on it. No, but you put all this work into it, and it's so easy to get in that robot mode of clean up, go to bed, it's over, it's done. Soak it in. Soak it in. You're so good about helping people appreciate those details and those moments. Thank you so much, Kathy. We appreciate you being part of this series.